Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, May 29th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I bring my awareness to conscious responsibility. And we have some interesting energies today. I don't even know what the cats decided to do as I began. It's like quiet, silent, serene, and then I begin and everybody's like, let's bring some havoc to the scope. So we'll see what other havoc the cats have in store. I think that goes well with our astro energies today. We have Mars and Chiron conjunct, and this is quite a pairing. The peak of it happens at 10:08 a.m., and it happens alongside a Moon-Uranus square, and even the Moon feeding into the Mars and Chiron energy. So you may find some emotional energy, some emotional challenges rising up in and through this. I definitely felt my personal aggro just under the surface today as I was going about life. So we have a Luce cat here. Luce is here with me. It's rare. Anyway, we'll see what she, our Scorpio or Taurus Scorpio, has to say, if anything, about anything going on. So, Mars energy, especially in the sign of Aries, can bring up the aggro, and it can bring up the energy of war. It can bring up our personal warrior. It can make us angry. It can make us impatient. It can bring up aggression energy. And Chiron in Aries is like, good. This is good. You need to see these pieces. I think that there is power in anger. We all have all kinds of emotions, and it's never a bad thing to have an emotion. What becomes challenging is anger needs a specific kind of outlet, and so often the way it feels most productive to us is to pass that anger from one person to another, right? To share that anger. And sometimes we hurt each other in the process of it. And so Chiron, again, is like, good. Are you paying attention to this? Are you paying attention to this? Because some of this is your shadow. And I always think it's really interesting that anger is usually known as a secondary emotion, being that it's not the root. It's not the root of anything, right? There's a different root. Often it's hurt and it's grief and pain that can stem and bloom into anger. Now, let's be fair. Anger is kind of like a stem. There's still a flower. And I think the flower is the awareness and the understanding. And I think that that's what we're kind of looking for today as Mars and Chiron connect. Looking towards, well, what is actually the root of any of this anger, any of this frustration, irritation, impatience that's surfacing? And where can I go with this energy? So that's a big part of today. The other part of today is understanding that Mars energy, and specifically Mars in Aries, needs a physical outlet. Any emotion is energy in motion. And so rather than just trying to contain it, which a lot of us will try to do, because like, I don't want to hurt you, so I'm going to like bundle it up inside, hide that away until it like volcanoes out by some stimulus. So rather than that, it's recognizing ways that you can move this energy, ways that can be potentially Chiron to you, potentially healing for you. So keep that awareness today. I also think that Mars and Chiron conjunct is asking us to recognize where we're at with our inner warrior. We each have a warrior, places that we are called to stand up and, I don't want to say fight, but stand up in our strength. I think I like that for a warrior, stand up in our strength. And so this is also a call to action in that energy and a call to healing. So awareness of that will be powerful. Now it's interesting that we have the moon in Aquarius. We have this grand trine, air energy going on, which can definitely bring a lot of mental energies. But I feel like the moon in Aquarius is definitely bringing our attention to world events. So whether it's the storms, whether it's the wars of the world, you may find yourself feeling extra about various things happening in our world. You also may find yourself feeling very triggered by them as we have the moon in Aquarius connecting to Uranus. I will say that in this day and age, and with, I don't know, I would think the evolution that I thought that we've gone through, that there would be better ways of healing besides hurting each other, hurting one another. And that, to me, is the stem of my grief. That's my root, right? So be aware of that energy coming up today. Mars also requires we take action. So aligning some kind of action with what you value, that Uranus and Taurus portion is still important, can be helpful in this energy as well. We're then going to have like void moon. You may feel very tired and wired. Oh my gosh, it took a lot of energy to like get myself to record today because I am feeling that tired and wired for sure already. The moon will then ingress into Pisces at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time and make a square with Jupiter. And Jupiter finishing up its 0 degrees energy, preparing to get started, getting into this Gemini mode, and then it's kind of like wave of Pisces goes over the Gemini energy. Because Gemini, again, it wants connection, it wants fun, it wants laughter, and the reality, the emotional reality of the world may feel a little cold water on Jupiter energy. Please remember, despite what's happening in the world, to make time to tell a better story, to speak love into the world. That was really kind of the energy that I kept leaning towards, is keep bringing the awareness of love. There's a quote that's like, the only remedy for love is more love. And I think we need to remember that as we're faced with world challenges, life challenges. Where can you add love? And when I pulled my cards, this is what ended up on top today, the Lover's card. So see where whatever's coming at you today, whatever you're working through, where you can apply a balm of love, whether it's some self-love. That Aries energy definitely may need some self-love. The Gemini energy, laying some love on connections. Aquarius love, sending love to your community or other communities of the world. All of that matters. Luch is going away. She's like, that's it. I'm done with you. She's had it. I do want to mention that on Thursday evening, we are going to have Mercury and Uranus conjunct. So those tired, wired feelings are going to be coming in. And watch for racing mind energy. And in that racing mind energy, we've got the shouldiness and we've got the sadness. So there's definitely some emotional energies. However, I love that we have the rebirth card, which is a reminder, like, you don't have to get stuck in the sadness. You don't have to get stuck in the shouldiness. That you can find a new way of moving through this. And there we have the sharing card. Sharing your light. Again, sharing that love in and through connection. It heals. And I think that's something we always need to be reminded, because we can feel so powerless against things that are happening, but we have more power than we realize, and a lot of that power is in our ability to love. So, I'm going to leave that here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. And the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And remember who you are, for You are the solution. Namaste.